and she's heading out of town, and I'm heading south. Bye, Leah. Goodbye, darling. Drive safely.
We're Levi and Leah, a Canadian couple living out of our Toyota Prius to complete a road trip of a lifetime.
We left our apartment in the city to spend the next year circumnavigating North America.
Last week, we transferred everything from the Prius into RV life.
And this week, we're doing some solo adventures as we drive across the prairies.
So for the last 4 days, we have been here in Winnipeg socializing and hanging out with my family.
It's been so nice to visit our family as we come across the country. I know that I am really missing home, but being able to stop in, especially when I'm seeing babies and little kids, that is just helping me feel more settled and just like building that excitement for when we do finally get home.
It has been a wild journey to get here. The reason why we didn't document more is because it is an unfathomably long drive to get just to Winnipeg, but here are some of the highlights.
So today we are trying out a new thing with the RV. We are emptying the black water tank and the gray water tank. Thankfully there's a book with instructions. Let's see how this goes.
Okay, so what we're supposed to do is remove the... How do we get it back in? Okay, well that's a futurist problem.
Oh, you gotta be careful with that. Oh.
So to be clear, first of all, oh my god. Oh, it stinks. Oh.
Quick, duck.
We've been told by many people that this is kind of like...
Oh. It just splooshed under.
What I love the most is that we're just like in a parking lot. Like, yeah, I just thought that I just thought it'd be a little more. Pray to God it doesn't blow everywhere.
Oh.
The sound is the worst part. Honestly, this isn't actually that bad. Like, once I get over the fact that I have like poo water on my hands right now, like that's not the worst thing ever.
Don't let it touch it! Don't let it touch it! No, you missed it.
You missed it entirely. What the heck is going on right now? Are you kidding me? We must be in Mennonite country. So we just stopped in at this little Amish farmers market situation here, and the place was absolutely packed. We got so much stuff. Look at this. We've got pickled Brussels sprouts, also known as frog balls. They make their own maple syrup on site. We have some raspberry jam, pickled beets, and some standard pickles. Now that's just the fun preserves. We also have this enormous bag of fresh produce, some local eggs, as well as a little extra special strawberry pie. Unreal. Well, hey, thanks so much, man.
Hey, thank you.
Really appreciate it. Have a good one, eh?
Thank you.
So we were just stopped here in this random town doing some work. And do you hear that noise? Look at this. The ice is slowly being pushed up onto the shore because this entire frozen lake is just moving towards us for whatever reason. Did it just stop? I think it just stopped. I have a time lapse on my phone of the water slowly moving it towards us, and now it just stopped. Oh, no, it's still moving. It's just kind of hit its level here. Wow. I love random moments like that. Like, what a weird thing to witness. That was fantastic.
But today, Levi and I are going our separate ways and trying a little solo adventure. I'm excited but nervous because I'm gonna take this thing. Have we spent a night away from each other in...
No, I don't think we have. I think this will be the first time.
in like a year?
In over a year, yeah.
I don't want to say that we're codependent.
Oh my god, we're not
'Cause we're
codependent.
not.
We're not.
We're not.
We're independent.
We're independent people.
Oh my god.
So the reason why we were doing this is I want to go and see the birthplace where my father was born and where my great-great-grandparents were way back in like the homesteading days of Manitoba. And that's kind of really out of the way for a giant rig like this, and it costs a lot of money to drive there. So Leah's gonna go directly west towards Regina, and I am going to do a little whoop the schmoop on my own.
But before we do that, I put together a few things for you.
Look at this.
Well, this is your little care package. So you have your toothbrush and your pillow and you know, some cooking supplies. I prepared a few other things too.
Why do I feel like a kid going off to college? Like,
Have fun at camp, honey.
bye parents, I'm off.
Oh no.
Well, you're gonna need a few snacks for the road.
I have
So-
like a bowl of chips.
Well, yeah.
My mug.
Well, look
Okay.
inside your mug.
Oh. Oh, my tea.
There's a tea bag for tomorrow morning.
Are you like momming me? Like, is this like your training for like?
I guess so. I'm nesting. And there's also a muffin, and then tomorrow there's a banana and cereal.
Oh, gee.
My boob. Owie.
All right, so this adventure is pretty well only 24 hours of us being apart, which is, yes, the longest we've ever been apart in this entire trip. But,
Not in our entire lives, just in this trip, okay? We're not that bad.
so this is kind of it. I guess from here we just get in our separate cars and go our separate ways. Okay, bye.
What?
Just kidding.
Drive safely.
Look, there she is. And she's heading out of town, and I'm heading south. Bye, Leah. Goodbye, darling. Drive safely. There she goes, driving off into the sunset. Well, it's not sunset yet, but there she goes. So this building behind me is the tallest building in Plum Coulee, Manitoba, which is where my ancestors first arrived in Canada when they immigrated from somewhere in the Germany, Netherlands area of Europe. So the reason why I came here to Plum Coulee is because this side of my family were the Mennonites. They were Hildebrands through and through, and you know, there's not many opportunities that you have to go back to the place where like a big chapter of your family heritage started. But apparently there is one place where you can see some of my ancestry here, and that's at the cemetery. So after walking around the entirety of this place, I think I've identified 3 different headstones with family members bearing the name Hildebrand, which is sort of surreal. I think these ones right here, if I am correct, are my great-great-grandparents. Halfway through kind of hanging out here, my parents called me and I got to sort of talk to my dad about, you know, who is all here and where they were in his life and all the other people that don't have my last name but were a part of our family back then. And yeah, it's pretty cool to come back and see sort of like the origins of my family. It's a cool spot to visit, and and I'm glad I did it. Feels good to be back.
Here I am. This is our little spot for the night at this
Little Manitoba Visitor Center.
and it was actually really easy, you know. I'm listening to a good audiobook, chilling while I'm hanging out in the rig. Now that I've gotten used to driving it, it's a lot better. As this is my first night solo, you know, totally by myself, I decided to stay at a rest area because I'm relatively close to the highway. There are lots of people who stay at places like this to get some sleep. If you've been watching our channel, you know that we talk about iOverlander as an app that we use to try and find spots for us to stay. And this is one that popped out that people felt safe at, and a lot of the other options were way off the highway. Also, after driving for so many hours, it's just nice to be in an area where I can just go for a walk. It's not the most beautiful, understandably. This is a gravel parking lot. Levi, I'm like remembering how to talk to people because I've been quiet for a while, so sorry if this seems rambly. One of the other reasons that we are taking this trip across Canada a bit faster than we originally planned is because I'm pregnant. Right now I'm 20 weeks along, so I'm halfway, and I need to start seeing my doctor more regularly, get my last ultrasound to make sure baby's looking good. But it has honestly been so wild how much my body has changed, especially over the last month. In previous videos, there's me talking about a bump. I look at those now and I'm like, wow, that's kind of wishful thinking on my end. But now there actually is, and one of the most exciting things that is happening is that I can feel the baby kick now. They're only about the size of a grapefruit, but they're rolling around, they're moving, they're kicking, and it has been such a joy to be like, wow, baby, you're like a real thing. Up some soup that we got from this deli in Winnipeg, and I found from Stanley Park Brewing this non-alcoholic beer. Is it focused on it? Can you see it? Oh man, the Sunsetter Peach Wheat Ale. Non-alcoholic beers have come a long way. This is actually so good, so good. I feel like I should also address the elephant in the room. That typically Levi is the one who sets up our shots, we do the establishing things, and while I take the camera more often now, if some of these shots are out of focus, I'm doing the best I can. We're on Leah cam right now, team, so we'll see.
So this is where I've found myself tonight. We are camping out on the corner of Oak Lake, which is very beautiful. Here we have a little bit of soup that I'm warming up. Not a little bit, a lot. Hopefully that gets warm soon before the sun goes down. I drove probably a little faster than is legal to get here because I didn't want to get here before the sun went down, because when you're in the Prius, it's nice to get everything done before it gets cold and before it gets dark, just because the only interior space you have available to you is inside the car. I can't even begin to describe how lucky I am right now that this has been a nice day. This has probably been the most temperate and beautiful day that we've had since getting to Canada, basically. And that is pretty well the only reason that living in this Prius right now in Canada is gonna work well, because like I'm in shorts and it's like 8 p.m. and the sun's going down and I'm comfortable. So I know where Leah is right now. Like, we texted each other our coordinates so that we are aware of where we are and what's going on. And I think that this would be a good policy for anyone who is traveling by themselves, because it is super exhausting. Like driving just the amount that I did today, it was more exhausting than when you have somebody around to talk to, honestly. So I'm probably gonna have an early night, finish off my soup, go for a walk so I can limber up, and then tomorrow start making my way to Regina. So that was my first night in the Prius since getting into Canada, actually. And you know what? Felt just like old times. Kind of loved it. This is the great thing about the Prius, man. That spot has a sign that says no overnight camping on it, right out front. But because it's a little car, nobody suspects anything. And so I was able to stay there with absolutely no problems. So this morning, going off for a little walk around this nature reserve. Birds are chirping, beautiful, warm, still wearing shorts. And then time to make the drive off to Regina to meet up with Leah.
Good morning. Oh, very successful sleep. Felt super safe, and it wasn't actually too loud here at the Manitoba Visitor Center. There's a few trucks and stuff parked at the back over there. I think I have another friend who's parked. You can see that. Parked over there as well. So, not totally alone.
This was the most lovely and slow morning, I think, because we're going so fast across the country. It was nice to just, have breakfast, do some yoga, and now I'm hitting the road, and it's like 9:30 now. But I'm on my way to Regina to meet up with Levi and go to the house where I was born.
So in our border crossing video, when we crossed back into Canada, we stopped at a Dunkin' Donuts before we crossed, and we hated it. And a lot of you either agreed or disagreed firmly. So I am here at the Canadian institution, Timmy's, to do a fair and equal representation of that experience. A lot of you were mad that we only got an old-fashioned regular plain donut when we were there. So here I am trying it from Tim Hortons. I don't think old fashions are a particularly good donut, honestly. But I will say that tastes a hell of a lot better than the one that we got from Dunkin'. I don't know if I'm just being biased, but that tastes like a better donut in my opinion. The coffee's pretty watery, but it's, I know this might seem like I'm being real biased right now, but this tastes like better coffee than the stuff we got from Dunkin'. Yeah, it's not bad. The craziest thing though is that I got a regular coffee and 2 donuts and the thing came out to $5.28. Like, that is insanely cheap. That's in Canadian dollars, so that's like $4 American for all that. Also, side note, the sour cream glaze is the best donut to have ever existed. Oh, there she is. There she is in the old cul-de-sac. Leah? You made it. You made it. We made it.
Look,
We made it.
You're standing in front of my old house. Hi.
It's not filming either of us.
Yeah, now it is. Are you excited to have the camera back?
Oh my god. So which one was it?
This one.
This is your house?
This was the first house I ever lived in.
There she is in front of the old house.
There it is. Old house. I don't remember.
You don't remember? Yeah, of course
Well,
not.
we left when I was a year and a half old, but
Wow. They come out, they're like, can you guys stop filming our property?
I was born here. You don't understand.
in time there's a guy coming. Oh, of course we set up the camera on this road out in the middle of absolute nowhere, Saskatchewan, and there's gotta be a guy driving? Like, what are the chances of that?
As soon as we set up the camera, there's one truck that's gotta go by.
Oh my God. So yes, we are reunited.
Together again.
With our
Together
two vehicles. And we have so much driving yet to go.
I feel like the whole hope of this trip was for Levi and I to spend time together, to really enjoy these last moments of just us as a couple. But everything's about to change, and I feel like having some time to be by yourself, remember yourself as an individual before we become parents.
Yeah, it's massive, and that's what this whole final chapter has really felt like. So thank you for watching us and being a part of our journey as we go through this, and look forward to a lot more adventures to come, because we're still not home yet.
Thanks for your patience with my filming too.
I haven't seen it yet, so we'll see. We'll see how bad it is.
It'll be great.
I don't think the mirror is supposed to be able to do this.
I think this may honestly be one of the most impressive campsites that we have had on this trip. So one of the great benefits of finding a remote campsite out in the middle of nowhere by yourself is that you get to hang out naked.